I'm just sick of their generation fight, you know? Boomer this, boomers that, millennials this, like, da la la la. It's like we're in the Bratz movie. Have you ever like rewatched the Bratz movie? Everybody like has this little table, the soccer players, the math with the math geeks. It's like we do this one thing together, so we must never fall apart from each other. You know, like when my friends get a boyfriend. It's not like something new, okay? People only hanging out with people their own age. The older generation doesn't like the traits of the new generation. The new generation think the previous is kind of lame, though they want to bang some of them. You know, nothing there. What I do see more because of the internet is generation generalization, which is something very hard to say out loud. People take one trait of the generation to make it a whole thing of people, all the people who are that age. Hair on my mouth. Anyway, they take an individual trait and then treat it as a whole, which is something we don't even do with pets. You try to treat a cat like you treat a dog, and good luck finding eyeglasses that match. I don't know if I feel like this because I'm an old person. Don't get me wrong, I'm young. Like, I exist for a little while, I look young. I don't have the spine of a young person. But you know, my essence is an old lady, is a tia. I mean, that's the dream. I already don't get the slangs of my generation. Everybody has to explain these things to me. My mattress is as hard as a bulletproof glass from a country leader. The ideal hangout for me is get out, do something, and come back at a reasonable hour so I can sleep. And I also barely miss the telenovela chapter. So yeah, I'm a tia. And also my parents, they grew up in the 80s and they made sure that I knew about it. So I kind of absorbed some of those things. My favorite movie is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. My first ever favorite band was Bon Jovi. First fashion item I couldn't afford or couldn't buy because it didn't exist was high-waisted jeans. And then they came back, I was so happy. Now you're trying to take it away from me again. Anyway, I already talked about that. But I know I'm not the only young old person. There are people who were born between 1998 and 2002, which I call the missing link. We are people who identify with both generations, but at the same time we don't fit in any of them. Like, I had an M3 player with something millennials like to brag about, like, oh, you don't know what it is. Of course I know this. I've had an M3 player, but they had Hannah Montana and Victoria's songs. Have you noticed how people are being very bold on assuming that we didn't have stuff they did? Of course, sometimes that's true, like financial stability. But something like sitcoms or cassette tapes, they just go, oh, Gen Z, you don't have that, you didn't have that. Like, I did. And when it comes to movies, we have streams, bitch. The catalog goes from now to the 20s. It's a WandaVision catalog. And it makes me feel kind of awkward, kind of bad, because get things that I really like and you say that I didn't have it, but I do have it. Not only I have it, I'm obsessed with it and I like it. The one thing that I do agree, and hear me out, that the internet changed things. I'm gonna explain. No, Gen Z is the first generation to grow up entirely online. And people treat this as a personality trait, when in reality, growing up with these online things don't mess only with how we behave, but how the chemistry in our brains works. Seriously, look it up. So the human brain that you grew up is not the same brain that we grew up, like anatomically speaking. And we still don't know what is actually going on because it's very recent. We don't know exactly what happened, we just know it did. Besides, it's kind of like your fault. I mean, you created it. It was already here when we got here. You know, like global warming. That's another thing. Climate change was just a warning at your time. It's a reality on ours. Not to mention that we're young adults, we're recent adults in a time there were a pandemic going on. We all get this responsibility of being adults, but we don't get none of the money because the economy sucks. We're completely aware how disgusting, how annoying, and how cruel this world is to minorities. But we're not able to change a lot of it because we haven't grown up enough to have the power to change it, and boomers just cling to it. Mental health issues, yes. So yes, things are different. But I'll let you in on a secret. You know these terms, generation, you know what they're for? Not only to identify generations, they are made to sell us stuff. They get the generation traits, you know what they like, what they seek, what they're looking for, and make products to sell those things. That's why it happened. To sell. They make products, they make services, drugs, your values, anything that you can sell. And then the internet took it and turned it into this little fight, which is just stupid. We're in the same jack shit world. We're probably all gonna die at the same time. Instead of shitting on each other, let's help each other out. Oh, but the young generation never listens. Okay, maybe yours didn't. Believe me, we are trying to learn everything we can of being an adult. Please help us. Seriously, any grain of advice will be very welcome. So let's stop fighting each other and each generation, because the what millennials, boomers, Gen X, and Gen Z all like, in reality are just personality traits. One person can be born in one time and identify with another. I've seen that happen all the time. But if you're a missing link, comment. I want to see if anybody else has the same feeling that I do, like you don't belong in each. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.